with an injury update on 2 WWE stars and Tyson Fury claiming he'll make a pro wrestling comeback. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for March 4th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WrestlingHubOfficial and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. With them set to take each other on at WrestleMania, Charlotte Flair spoke to Hot 97 recently about her opponent Ronda Rousey. The SmackDown Women's Champion noted that she sees them as equals. Survivor Series 2018, I earned her respect. We had no build, we had no story. It was a last minute thing, and I think we went out there and killed it and just gave a taste of what her and I are capable of. So I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. I don't expect anything less than what we already have delivered. Absolutely, she earned my respect, and what she did that entire year, she faced the Bellas, Nia Jax, myself, Alexa Bliss. She performed with many different opponents at a high level. That doesn't mean you necessarily have the best chemistry with everyone, but I think she went out there and she reminded me of Kurt Angle. She just picked it up so quickly. It's all about instinct, and she has the instinct, and that's half the battle. You can be in this business for a long time and never figure out instinct, in my opinion. I have nothing but respect for her. What she was able to do and the doors that she opened for women at the time had never been done before. Had there not been a Ronda Rousey, I don't think there would have been a women's revolution. I like to say that I'm the Ronda of WWE and she is the Charlotte Flair of MMA. Speaking of MMA, Bryan Danielson told the Ringer Wrestling podcast that he wants to experience what it's like to compete in a mixed martial arts contest. Part of me wants to do an MMA fight where I just just feel the difference. Because I'm sure it's 100% different. If you're bleeding from somebody punching you so hard that your eye's bleeding, I'm sure that sucks, right? That sounds like the worst, right? And I would only want to experience it once, just to know the difference. Danielson is set to face Jon Moxley as the two will collide on Sunday for the Revolution pay-per-view. Since winning the AEW title from Kenny Omega, Adam Page has had 2 highly praised matches against Bryan Danielson and a Texas death match against Lance Archer. During a media call ahead of the Revolution pay-per-view, AEW President Tony Khan said that no one has had better matches recently than Hangman. I believe Hangman's match quality bar none. I have no exceptions to this. Since he has won the title, nobody has had better matches. The 2 matches he's had with Danielson and the Texas death match with Archer have probably been 3 of the best matches we've had in the company since he won the title. So I'm going to give him that spot and Adam Cole that spot and ask them to go out and have a great match as best they can. At Revolution, Page will be looking to successfully defend his title again when he takes on Adam Cole. Following his contract expiration, Cesaro and WWE were unable to come to terms on a new deal, which led to the star no longer being a part of the company. With no WWE non-compete clause, he could show up in another promotion. On his podcast, Ric Flair talked about Cesaro, saying he should go to AEW to make a big impression. I would get Cesaro and get him a new manager, and make him a heel from day one. If he had a mouthpiece, and was it going to be a heel, I genuinely do believe Cesaro would be phenomenal. I'd love to manage him. If I was managing him, I would call Tony Khan out to the ring, and knock him down from behind and have Cesaro get him in a giant swing and put him in a hospital for a month. With AEW President Tony Khan recently announcing the acquisition of Ring of Honor, Wardlow noted while speaking to Wrestling Inc. that ROH is now in better hands. I think it is awesome, just for the world of wrestling in general. We have obviously seen what Tony can do with a product, so I believe Ring of Honor is about to thrive like never before. I would just like to see another quality wrestling product. Another, not just another option, but a real option, like a good option, and an enjoyable, entertaining option. An alternative for wrestling, just something a little different, man. There's There's so much talent in the business of wrestling, and there's so many free agents. I feel like Ring of Honor is going to be a great place for all those people to go and shine like they deserve. Wardlow would also talk about getting the chance to go face to face with CM Punk in AEW. Working with Punk has truly been surreal. I've said it before, you get in the business with your list of people you would love to work with, and CM Punk just didn't exist on that list, because that was never an option. That was done and over, no possibility of that happening. So for it to be real, man, just to work with CM Punk, something you never thought you'd be able to do, so it is very, very cool. It was noted in January that a split could be coming soon between MJF and Wardlow, as we'll have to wait and see when that takes place. After being pulled from programming following the Day 1 pay-per-view due to neck issues, Drew McIntyre has rehabbed his way back in time for WrestleMania, where he'll face Happy Corbin. Apparently, fans are not too pleased with this bout for the Chosen One. Drew took to Twitter to address the negative reception.
Here we are, Dallas, Texas. Hot. Dallas, Texas. I shouldn't have worn this outfit. But it's not just hot because that's the weather all year round here. It's hot because we're 30 days out from WrestleMania. The temperature's jacking up. And to jack it up even more, what did we just find out? Oh, WrestleMania Saturday. It's just McIntyre versus Corbin. That's right. I just read about it on the internet like everybody else about 10 minutes ago. But that's okay. That's the match I wanted. I always thought I was going to have to, jump through some hoops, play some games, cut some deals under the table, pass some money to some people, but the match is official. That means Corbin is going to be worrying about this match from now until Mania. And Corbin, you know me, you know what I'm capable of. We go way back. You saw what I did to Madcap, Special Elimination Chamber. You know the part I'm talking about. And I'm not even mad at him. You're the one I want, and I'm going to get you. So let's finish this thing up. A big grand finale. How should we do this? A joke. That's your bit, innit? A joke. Here's a good joke for you. Here's a hilarious joke. Corbin winning at WrestleMania.
With her suffering a torn ACL last year, Bayley has not been seen on programming in a while. It was recently noted that she could be making a comeback shortly after WrestleMania. Now, the Wrestling Observer newsletter has said that Bayley isn't cleared, but should be shortly. Speaking of returns from injury, Asuka was said to be making her return to action by the end of last month, but that turned out to be false. Still, the Observer has noted that Asuka is now cleared to return after shoulder surgery. With no other details at this time, it remains to be seen if Asuka makes her comeback before or after Mania. WBC and the Ring Heavyweight Boxing Champion Tyson Fury recently said he's planning to retire after his next title fight in April. Despite this, he is still interested in facing UFC Heavyweight King Francis Ngannou down the road, and recently noted that he's more than open to making a WWE comeback. As he told Give Me Sport, 1,000,000%, you will see me in the WWE again, 1,000,000%. During his appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Vince McMahon offered Pat the chance to compete at WrestleMania, saying he'd find him a worthy opponent. The rumor heading into this interview was that Pat would be facing none other than the WWE Chairman at Mania. Talking about this potential matchup, Booker T noted on his Hall of Fame podcast that this should be inspiring for other men. If Vince were to lace him up and get back into the ring at 76, it would definitely be something that men should be inspired seeing, honestly. I say it all the time. How are you going to tell a man you can't do it no more? How are you going to tell a man you're just too damn old? Just stay at the house and never come out. Bullet Bob Armstrong set an example, not just to his boys, but to the world, as far as don't quit, man. Don't quit. You go all the way. You ride it all the way to the end. I can respect that. I can respect Vince. If he has to be thinking about going out and having a match, I can respect that too. What I was thinking was, if anybody can do this and go out and have a match at 76 and do it well, it's going to be Vince McMahon. The reason I say that is because Vince McMahon, I have been watching Vince for quite some time. Just the way he does things. He does it differently than any man I have ever seen. It's like he has no off buttons. He's always trying to figure out, how can I keep this going for another 100 years if I possibly can? That's just the way his mind works, I think. Booker would go on to jokingly note that McMahon has beaten his trainer down with his fitness routine. I've gotten to the hotel late at 12, midnight, 1 o'clock, and I would see Vince McMahon's trainer waiting on him in the lobby. I'm wondering, is he waiting on him to come in, or is he waiting for him to leave? And 100 times out of 100 times, he has been waiting on Vince to leave to go to the gym. Now mind you, this trainer trainer, he's beaten up now. Vince has beaten down his trainer to the point where he might have to get another one in the next few years, because this guy is probably wondering, what the hell have I got myself into? I thought this was going to be an easy gig, and I found myself wondering what the hell is going on. So if anybody can pull it off, it's going to be Vince. I mean, personally, I'd love to see it. During that Revolution media call, Tony Khan touched on the introduction of trios titles to AEW, saying, "So I definitely think it is something there is a lot of interest in. I've seen that. We have a lot of great trios here. I am very interested in it. I will be 100% honest with you. This is the most blunt answer I could give. I am much more receptive to doing it when Kenny Omega is back, because I think that is going to happen. And when Kenny Omega is back, I think the trios division is that much stronger. We could do a great tournament now and have a great trios division, but I think he would make it that much stronger. I have so much respect for him, and I think he was such a great world champion for us. I think we could have by far the best trios division that anybody could put together with how strong our roster is and how many trios are already together and have experience working together. I would love for Omega to be a part of it." For his interview with Chris Van Vliet, Powerhouse Hobbs noted his journey to becoming an AEW star after being laid off and getting a call from QT Marshall. "So I was working at Facebook and Instagram. I was running their facilities department, so I was running about 4 different buildings. Then I got a call saying we were going to give you a month off with pay, and I'm cool with it. I can take my son Bam Bam to school and look after my other son Julian." I got home about 2:30, then got a call about 3:45 saying they were going to terminate my contract. I'm like, but everything happens for a reason. I'm glad that I got let go, and I'm living my dream. Being a 2-time NXT champion, Finn Balor has seen it all through his 2 runs on the brand. On After the Bell, he gave his take on newer NXT talent not getting the full experience he had, saying, "I feel like a lot of guys were hindered by the success of NXT and the fact that it changed its style, and then stopped preparing people for Raw and SmackDown. And maybe that was the difference between maybe me, Shinsuke Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, that were in that first kind of wave of NXT guys that were actually being prepared for Raw or SmackDown, and they were really tinkering with our style, and I was really compromising my style, going back to that word earlier. And then the next generation that came in were kind of just like, just go do your thing, man. That's what we want to see." And they weren't maybe as criticized as much, picked apart as much, and I feel like a lot of guys suffered because of that, because they weren't given the same knowledge that we were given. With Vince McMahon reported to be having a smoke and mirrors match against Pat McAfee, according to Dave Meltzer, where we'll likely see interference from Austin Theory, he talked on McAfee's show about why he prefers calling pro wrestlers in his company WWE superstars. If you have a character, it's no different than acting. Our performers, there is a reason I call them superstars. They are not just wrestlers. It's because anyone can wrestle, either poorly or well. Do you want to be a professional wrestler, or do you want to be a WWE superstar? WWE superstar sounds a whole lot better to me than being a professional wrestler. The quality of human beings that we have had and the enormous amount of talent we have, you have to have acting talent and reacting talent. McMahon would go on to note that you have to have this ability to really want to grow, because in our environment, I believe that if you're not growing, you're dying. You have to have that desire when you come in to be everything you can be, and if it's a character, really get into it and be that character when you're in the ring. In your private life, don't be that character. Don't get it confused. A lot of people are that way. The really good ones are all in on their character, and then they are themselves after the show is over. It's important for your mental health to not be the character outside the ring. When it comes to reports of Cody Rhodes coming to WWE, Steve Carrier of Ringside News noted that he is listed on internal documents for WrestleMania. He's apparently returning to WWE unless something changes. Despite all the promotion for the reality series with Corey Graves and Carmella, Dave Meltzer reported in The Observer that the 4 shows released this week did 271,000, 179,000, 157,000, and 136,000, with each one declining from the one before. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.